What a great night. Okay. So, who here has been asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Raise your hands. Okay. Who here actually followed through the answer to that question? Okay. When I was 5 years old, my answer to that question was nurse. When I was 10 years old, and my parents informed me that my siblings and I would be moving to the United States from Mexico, all I wanted to do was speak English so that I could understand the lyrics to the Backstreet Boys songs I listened on the radio. Yeah. So when I actually had the opportunity to meet AJ from the Backstreet Boys, it didn't really matter whether I spoke English or not because I just couldn't speak. So, as the oldest of 3 children and only girl in my immigrant family, I inherited the role of being a caretaker at a very young age. Yeah. When one of my younger brothers, who was at first grade at the time, was diagnosed with a tumor on his rib cage, and I saw that my parents became human and vulnerable, I felt the need to do all that I could do to take care of them, even if it was just a small difference. This is why when my mentors from 10,000 Degrees, Chuck and Chris Michaels, asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up, I told them doctor. So I moved from nurse to doctor. So, thank you. Now, whether they believed me or not, that's a different story. The point is, they believed in me. Not everyone is lucky to have a Chuck and Chris in their lives. I'm standing in front of you, not as a doctor, but as a young woman who works in public service for our state government because I like to feel like I'm making a difference. Thank you. When you take a chance on someone, you never know the kind of impact your words and support can have in their lives. 10,000 Degrees has given me so much, but not just through scholarship assistance. The first and most important thing that they did for me was they gave me the belief that I could go to college. It wasn't until I attended Summer Institute that things started to fall into place for me. I believed in myself because someone believed in me. Now I want to emphasize that. I believed in myself because someone believed in me. I became the first one in my family to attend college, and I enrolled at the University of California, Santa Barbara. Yes, thank you. Go Gauchos. Where I became over-involved, I like to say, in student government and other organizations. I had the opportunity to organize student delegations in Sacramento and Washington, D.C., to go lobby our elected officials on education policy and immigration policy. I created 2 mentorship programs and a summer bridge program to help first-year students transition into the university. I organized rallies, studied in New York City. I interned in D.C. I participated in other programs in Texas and Atlanta, Georgia. As you could tell, I took advantage of as many opportunities as I could. I graduated UCSB with a BA in History of Public Policy in 2013. Thank you. And in the fall, I was accepted to the Capital Fellows Program as an executive fellow, where I had the opportunity not only to meet, but actually work with our state officials and state leaders. I've been hired, promoted, and I spent the last 3 days actually in the governor's office interviewing the next cohort of executive fellows as part of the selection panel that took a chance on me 3 years ago. It's come full circle. I currently work for one of the governor's cabinet members for a state agency whose sole mission is to make government effective. Sorry, I'm working on it. We're getting there. Thank you. In my spare time, I'm an active council member for the League of United Latin American Citizens, where actually as the VP of Youth, I applied for and received a $20,000 grant to reduce high school dropout rates in the Sacramento region. And I'm a member of the ACLU of Sacramento. So if you ask me today what I want to be when I grow up, I can't answer that question. But maybe that's not the right question to ask. Maybe it's not what, but who. Who do you want to be when you grow up? Because you can change careers. I'm obviously not a doctor. But it is much harder to change the content of your character. And I honestly believe that 10,000 Degrees has heavily influenced me to become the young woman that I am today. So tonight, I'd like to thank Chuck, Chris, Kim, Julia, Dawn, Scott, and everyone else that believed in me. Thank you. I do what I do because of people like you. You have managed to create a safe environment where young individuals can come together and thrive. You allow them to believe in themselves and therefore encourage them to believe in one another. You have changed the world 1 degree at a time, and I cannot wait to see what's in store for the next 35 years. My name is Angelica, AKA Angie, and I am 1 degree.